cracking the syndicate.
Yeah, last I heard he was 3 over par.
Last I heard, it sounded like someone torturing kittens.
Last I heard, my gym makes money.
I heard 5.
You heard wrong.
You heard him. Those were his last words.
Last I'd heard, he'd been defeated again.
Last I heard, Joe coaches women's wrestling. POTUS is awake?
Yeah, last I heard.
I heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Last I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Lee Dempsey, along here with the Gridiron Gang, Josh Wins, Travis Rankins, as we take you through the National Football League. We're going to wrap up Week 10, give our picks for Week 11, and really get into some news right off the bat, shall we? Yeah. Chicago Bears, Waldron fired. Shit can, out of there. And a lot of rumors of Caleb Williams getting benched here last week. A lot coming up. Not looking good for them Bears right now. Everyone had those high hopes for Caleb and the rest of the gang there, and they're just not enough for the strong NFC North. And as we get into it, speaking of benching, looks like old Joe Flacco is going to get the bench as Anthony Richardson's going to start once again. Daniel Jones been rumored to be benched. Good chance that'll happen. They have a bye this week, so maybe coming out of that, Drew Lock gets the start, gets maybe 2 weeks of reps, first-team reps there, and Dak out for the rest of the season there. So Cooper Rush is the man, but I don't think it matters after that embarrassing performance against the Eagles last week. Or was it? Yeah. Was it the Eagles? Yeah. Just terrible ass-kicking. They don't know which way the stadium should have been pointed. They need curtains. All excuses in the book for why they sucked ass. But one play wasn't going to do it for you, gentlemen. For the last week, what are some of these key features that have happened around the NFL, news around the NFL that really stands out to you?
Well, I love being right, and I was right on Caleb Williams. That's all I got to say. I don't know how the Bears just continue to pick the wrong guy over and over and over and over again. It's got to be frustrating to be a fan of that franchise. And he had a few games where he looked good, but obviously look at who he played. I've never been a believer in the guy, and I feel like he's one of those can't miss prospects that just doesn't have the skill set that a lot of people are looking for. And Richardson is another one of those guys. It's just like they get overhyped, and I don't think he's in a bad situation with Chicago. I don't think the coaching's great, but the personnel there is, for a first overall pick, that's a pretty sweet spot to land. The talent that they have in that organization, but we'll see. I mean, it's still early in his career. Hopefully he can rebound and play better. Maybe he'll kick some ass this weekend. I'd be okay with that.
I don't think so.
And then I doubt it. And then Richardson, I don't know. I'm shocked that they kind of went back so fast. It's a weird, we're sticking with Flacco. He's our man. And then 2 weeks later, you got Richardson coming right back in. Just seems really odd. Shane Steichen's probably going to get fired this year. So
I wouldn't rush to that judgment yet. I don't think he will be. But my biggest takeaway actually didn't even happen on the field. It happened off the field. Micah Parsons. After that game that they got whooped in for the 5th straight home game, by the way, he comes out and he says these stupid comments about Mike McCarthy and how he basically said, I'm worried about Zach Martins of the world, and I'm not worried about Mike McCarthy having a job next year, blah, blah, blah. These guys have put more work than he ever has into this. And, you can think what you want about the coach and everything, but to say that, I think that's just very, very uncalled for, no matter what your feelings are towards him. And that's basically saying well, McCarthy's not putting in work. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he won a Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure he's been a coach in this league, not just a head coach, but a coach for, 30 years in this league. I don't know what he's trying to say there. Obviously Mike McCarthy might not be the best coach, but you don't ever say that. That's just so stupid. And then the next day he comes out and says, that was, you guys took it the wrong way. And I'm like, no, I heard what you said. That is not taking it the wrong way. That's You being an idiot. Like, why would you ever say that? At least you did come out and say, like, I didn't mean it. But, like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You just are a hothead. I can relate. Trust me. But you shouldn't say that type of shit. Like, I don't care how mad you are at the time or anything like that. You don't throw guys under the bus. You want to talk to him personally or whatever. I know you were asked a question, but it was a very condescending way to answer the question. And I don't like that. Back to that Caleb Williams also. They did it wrong. They shouldn't have had this coach as his head coach. You should have started over. You should have went and got what's the guy from the Lions? The
Ben
Yeah.
Johnson.
Ben
Just
Johnson.
pay him.
They should have went and got which he
Yep.
wanted to have reportedly, allegedly, rumors, the Adam Schefters of the world and all that bullshit. But allegedly he wanted to go there. I mean, why wouldn't you want to hire an offensive coach when you're getting the franchise this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like they did it wrong. And yeah, I think it is the Bears organization. They did fuck this up once again. Yes, you're right. They do have a good roster and all of that. But when you don't have a plan, when you don't have a guy that's going to develop them, I mean, I don't agree with keeping this guy.
No.
And I'm not saying he's a bad coach. He's a bad head coach.
That I was watching the Chicago boys from Barstool. It's always a good kick to get maybe not the full episode, but at least their take on the Bears game. They're usually fresh off of it. I think they record it like Sunday night or something, usually right after the game. And to watch those four kind of just put their heads down every single week, it's comical for us. But to talk to them or listen to them talk about how some of the like play schemes and just how things are drawn up or even how some plays are called. They had who was it? Someone was talking about how basically the protection went one way, but the play went the other way. So it was just like doomed from the get go. And I was like, that does come down to just coaching. I mean, maybe there's a small chance that Caleb, calls it wrong in the huddle kind of thing, but sure, it doesn't seem with that execution that that's what happened. Just poor play calling, and poor play design. So yeah, I think with Ben Johnson, they're very fortunate that he didn't take a head coaching job this last year. So he's still an option, really. And I think after you see what Eberflus has done and not done, you take that into consideration. Like, yeah, this guy does want one of the biggest head coaching contracts ever. But maybe it's worth it. I mean, it's what do you got to lose at this point? You're just flushing down careers and money down the drain if you don't try to go after the best option.
Wanted to see the meme of like the guy with the polo and then the guy with the polo again. And it's like Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. Like that would have been a perfect meme to create. Because they both had that moment where they're like this on the sidelines with their heads back. I saw those next to each other, and I'm like, oh, that just waiting for that meme now.
Let's get into our best and worst of the week, shall we? Once again, this is a very negative week for me. So I have only worse. I figure I'll go last off of that. I also have
The doom and gloom of daylight savings has gotten the
it's
league.
got me hard. I'm just all worst, and yeah, it goes into.
No one's
I
good.
got a stat of the day as well that goes along with it. So I'll let you guys go first. Hopefully you don't take anything I got, but otherwise I'll piggyback off it.
I'll go first to get Travis riled up. My best of the week is whatever rabbit chew or whatever the fuck that the Chiefs have. Man, I need some of that. I don't know what they have in their luck, but man, they just every week just seem to find some way to win in a bullshit way. I just don't get it, but they're undefeated, so got to give them their credit. Best luck I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how a kicker. They literally showed film of this guy, that left guard or probably left tackle, given the formation on a kick, has given up like people penetrating all season long. So good film study by them. But how the fuck do you lose a game that way? I mean, the Denver Broncos outplayed them again, and the Chiefs win again. So I'll give them their credit. My other best, I want to give a shout out to, I don't even know his first name, The Saints head coach, that was incredible. The turnaround of energy on that team and the buy-in from 2 weeks ago, just incredible. The city, the stadium, the players, his facial expressions, the guy was into it, and it was fun to watch. So, big win for them at home versus Atlanta. So, those are my best of the week. Worst doesn't change. Cowboys, absolute abysmal. I don't even know where to start. How do you lose 34-6 against a divisional opponent? I know you don't have Dak, but my God, Cooper, have you even practiced all year? Like the guy couldn't throw the ball. Their offense looks inept, and their defense looks just as bad. Honestly, if I was them, I'd be looking to shop Minka Parsons right now. Uh, you know, try and get 2, 3 first rounders for him, and get what you can, because you sure the hell should not resign him, because you've already paid the King's ransom to 2 other players. You kind of have to start over somewhere. So I don't know. Dallas is in a tough spot. That franchise, the coach, the salary cap, and then the performance. So I'm not going to cry about that. I'm happy that they're not doing good, but to me, they're the story of the season so far, from expectations to where they actually are performing on the field.
You back that? I mean, if they were to shop Micah at the trade deadline, could have got something done there. Because I mean,
Yep.
to Travis's point, like he's got this podcast where he just mouths off all the time. Like, so you got this off the field drama that he's causing. Plus, like, they're not good. That's a perfect opportunity to get rid of somebody, and especially if like you don't for sure plan on paying them, because they're like, oh, you could pay Dak, you could pay CeeDee and Parsons all in one season, and Jerry chose not to do Micah for a reason. I'm not really sure why, but I feel like that's like writing on the wall. Like, we don't need this headache here, and we can get a shit ton for him.
He made comments the other week about Cam Ward too. I'd rather have him than Dak.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't say shit like that.
Yep.
He said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a headache for a few weeks, like saying stupid shit.
It's kind of like T.O. Like, that's what it reminds me of right now. It's just like, dude, I know you're good on the field, but just shut up and play the football a little bit.
Yep.
Like, you gotta stop with the. Amon Ra has a podcast, but
I was
he's not.
same thing with fucking Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. They're idiots.
I don't know why they need these podcasts.
No, right? Just more
Nothing's
money.
good.
Why?
More money.
It's
what good is gonna come from that, though?
Nothing.
Guys, it's 2024. Look at me. Look at me. It's not about the team. It's about me and my side, what I can do, and all of that. Even with being on the Lions and having Dan Campbell as your head coach and all of that. Man, if I was a coach, I'd be like, nah, you ain't doing that shit. You're not. This isn't your team or this. No, like, what are you doing? Like, I guess would be like, well, what are you doing? But well, I don't play in the NFL week to week. I don't play against other guys, talking about other guys, trashing other guys, giving guys bulletin board material. You know who would really hate that shit? Bill Belichick. He'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
No. I only let guys murder people. That's it.
Well, I think it's kind of funny. Like, you're right. Belichick would never allow him to do that. He barely even let his players talk in press conferences. Like, there's not positives that come from speaking about your team in those heated moments. And when your team is getting destroyed, like Dallas is, maybe that's the time to shut it down and go to work harder versus talking about XYZ.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're winning, like Amon-Ra, keep talking. If you can win and your team performs, good for you.
Well, I just love how they won one division title in the last 30 years of my life. And he's like, Packer fans are delusional. Blah. Oh, we're delusional. All right. We just win for my whole life. But we're delusional now because you guys won one and you're seemingly maybe going to win two. And yes, you are the best team right now in the NFC.
He just hates the Packers.
You're best when we come play you. But you're right. Right now, you're on top. But you've been there for like a minute. Not even a second.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, You haven't even done anything yet. Like, wow, you won a playoff game. Woohoo. Yeah. You went to the NFC Championship game last year. Woohoo. What else have you done? One fucking time in my life I've seen you do something. Congratulations. Now, do it again this year and go further. You're not, because we're fucking coming, bitch. All right.
I'm gonna get my favorite player.
I figures. Best one.
I just ordered a jersey. Well, it'll be at your house tomorrow for you.
So, for my best, it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
A horrible, horrible game. Come back and looking like they're going to be finally losing a game, go to 8-1. Instead, they fucking, like you said, found a loophole in that field goal block there. There was 3 guys there that could have blocked that field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they knew what they were doing. It
Oh, yeah.
wasn't like a lucky block. They definitely saw something. And then afterwards, I saw like something on X about it. Like they clearly saw the opportunity.
And then I would say the worst about that also is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's homes got burglarized. Yeah.
Jeez.
And they said there was no forced entry, which is even weirder. Like inside job,
Yeah,
like
right?
someone you know.
Yep.
Oh, that's they were talking about it on the radio. Like, do you move now? Like someone was just literally in your house. Like
To break into, I don't know what Kelsey's compound looks like, but I sure as hell know what Mahomes' place looks like.
Kelsey
That's
had
massive.
a better location now because he had to like be away from everybody with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally dating the most famous person in the world. I don't know how she is, but that's a conversation for another time. But I don't know.
That's crazy.
It just sucks. Bobby Portis, Bucks. He got his home burglarized a couple weeks ago after a game too. Comes home. Yep.
That's messed up.
Travis Kelce had like 20 grand laying around at home or something. It's gone. I know. I wish I just, just.
He don't care.
Yeah, right.
No.
He's more freaked out about the future of it happening.
Him and I'm not. All right, I'll shut up.
Swift?
I'll shut up. I was gonna play off of it, but I'll be nice. Football game right in the background. Jake Elliott just missed a field goal on my screen. Did you have your worst, Travis? Sorry, I think you just had your best, right?
I mean, it was the Micah Parsons
Micah
thing. You can just go with
okay. Yeah, and I guess to piggyback on that, both of you guys kind of had some Cowboys, and yeah, I'm gonna go off of that as well. The sun sets on CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys season right there all at once. It was just a disgusting performance. That they're like, oh, we should put up the curtains. Like the fact that $1 billion stadium needs curtains to block out the sun is fucking crazy to me. Like, I'm like, curtains is what you want? You got to run down to Walmart and go get curtains. Like, that's so stupid. You should have like these shutters that take 5 seconds to just boom and blackout, like this should not be an issue for the Cowboys, like to blind your own players like that. And just like, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing as can be. My second worst, Jared Goff and his 5 picks. I mean, he came down to earth real quick. It's like, man, he's had more touchdowns than he's had incompletions in the last 5 games, blah, blah, blah. And then 5 picks. You're like, holy shit.
And the Texans,
they still won. And you know what? That takes me into my stat of the day, if I may. Stat of the day! Throwing 4 or more interceptions in a game is 7-0. How the fuck does that happen? Yes, I heard that this week.
The craziest stat I've ever heard.
7-0 when he plays his worst games ever. How is that possible?
Yeah.
Insane.
I guess that's what you need to do in the NFC Championship.
Boy, and
start chucking it up, buddy.
Yep.
Wow, that's a wild stat,
yeah,
man.
I heard that and I about shit my pants and I had to confirm it myself. Yeah, absolutely.
He's got to be the only one in history with a winning record, let alone 7-0 record.
Yeah. And then my final worst of the week was Travis not making his picks for the second time in a row.
He can't figure it out.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that late Sunday. I was like, motherfucker. This guy. So yeah, I think Trav is officially out of the race unless he has some
I've been eliminated.
miraculous comeback. Yeah, pretty sad. The back to back.
The 2-time champ is
Yep.
out.
Yep. I wonder what that means.
Disqual.
Chiefs are gonna be the same way now. They went back to back, couldn't do the 3-peat. That's what it's gonna be. You put a bad omen.
I don't know.
You put a bad
put it
omen
on.
over them.
Unless they play the Packers, you're right. I think they will. But otherwise, if they play the Packers, you'll be right.
All right, let's get into our power rankings here. Sorry, not yet. There we go. Mighty Morphin Power rankings we got here. Once again, I just don't have a lot of movement here. All right, I'm gonna go through my top 5 right here, and it's gonna be pretty lackluster. But one team I got up there, moving on, because I'm taking the Vikings officially off. They just can't after the most embarrassing. They got granted. They bring in a kicker who's never played in an NFL game, and he goes 4 for 4. I was pretty happy with that. But otherwise, no offense, like no touchdowns whatsoever, and it was just terrible. Like defense balled out. What's that? Sorry.
Sammy came back to earth a little bit.
Yes, he
too.
did. He's been not playing well, and that's why I was kind of talking about last week too. Is like he's I don't know. People are figuring out that offense or what it is, but he's just not doing great. Granted, he's been kind of fucked on some of these interceptions as of recently. Like the first one was a deflection, so it's not entirely his fault. The second one touched the fucking ground. They still called it an interception, but the third one was just terrible. That was his fault entirely. So it's like some of those numbers, like throughout the season, he gets bopped in the fucking face and he throws a pick, and it's just like stuff like that where his interception numbers should be down a decent amount, but nonetheless, the offense still just isn't there. It's not getting the job done like it was during the season. So I got them off the list. I got them off the top 5. Moving in. Number 5, I got the Eagles. They're just a solid football team. I hate their coach. I hate their fan base. But damn, is that one talented roster. You know, just to watch them day in and day out do what they do is pretty awesome to watch. Like Saquon is just, it's like kismet there. It's perfect for him. Number 4, I got the Bills. They're going to be up there for now. I think this week is probably going to kick them back down, probably at least a 5.
Nope. They're winning.
Number 3, I got the Chiefs here because, that rabbit's jerky that you're talking about, rabbit's foot, is what you're looking for at the time, but I can't remember, rabbit chew, you called it. It's in their back pocket until that thing falls out. They're going to be winning games. Number 2.
They make their own.
Yeah. Number 2, I got the Ravens, still sitting up there, looking as great as they do. And number 1, the motherfucking Lions.
Trying to do your math here. The Ravens have all these losses. They've lost to the Chiefs and okay. Yep. It makes yep. I got it.
Well, if we all went with who's and what's and who's and howsies, everyone would have beaten everybody by now, and it wouldn't all matter at all. Packers for sure wouldn't be on this list anywhere, would they?
They're not on the list.
By your logic.
At the end of the season.
They beat the Bears, but the Bears beat this team, and this team beat the Packers. And
of the 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay.
Oh, my gosh.
Speaking of which, I heard Dan Patrick is probably going to be there this year. He said that today. So
it's going to be a fun one.
About 800 million other people.
Yep. So who you guys got?
Number 5. We have the Baltimore Ravens at number 5. I know everybody's all high on them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just not. I've had some Twitter battles this week about the Ravens, and it's been great. I don't know if you've seen any of them.
I've missed them, unfortunately.
I
got to go back and look.
What is it called? Kurt Bedenkert had like a stat. Like they have like the best offense, for sure in the league, but then their defense is about maybe twice as bad as how good their offense is. And I'm like, but yet people all think that the Baltimore Ravens are already have a seat at the Super Bowl. And then just like last year and said the Chiefs weren't going to win and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, here we are again. Weird. here we are again. And then all these Ravens fans come after me, and then they're like, "You're a Packer fan. What do you know about winning? You had Aaron Rodgers." And I'm like, I literally said that. I had some comments, and I even literally said, because I was being critical of Lamar Jackson, being, he's winning MVPs and he's doing great in the regular season. But then when the big game happens, what happens?
He's Mr. Rogers.
And then I said that about Rodgers, and I said, yeah, being a Packer fan, I know all about it. So I'm not trying to. I'm just saying these are facts. This isn't criticism. This is literally what we've seen. And until he does it, I'm never going to believe him. So he has to win in order for me to believe it. Because I'm from the Show Me State. Number 4, their opponents this week, the Steelers. So we have two matchups this week in my top 5 that are playing against each other this week. It's crazy. So Steelers and Ravens. Steelers being number 4 right now. Their defense is best in the league. Russell Wilson, go fuck yourself. You're looking all right, and I'm not liking it. They look kind of like the Seattle Seahawks
Legion of
from
Boom.
years past. Maybe a softer version of them, but then we got number 3. We got the Buffalo Bills. No one saddles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. They come in this week playing the number 1 team on my list, and I do have the Buffalo Bills beating them. So it's going to be interesting.
Why won't they be number 1?
But if they lose, they'll probably drop. Number 2, we got the almighty Lions. Yeah, you guys suck. Jared Goff, those 5 picks, they still win the game. Unreal. So they're number 2 still. And, of course, number 1, the 2-time defending champs who haven't lost in over a year, I'm pretty sure now. No, it's about a year. It's right on the cusp of a whole year. But yet they're just lucky. I get it. Yep, they're just lucky. Sure, there's lucky spots. There's lucky breaks. But, again, they make the luck because they're so fucking good. And when you're 2-time champions, that's not luck. And when you keep winning, that's not luck. And when you win by a blocked field goal at the end of a game, that's willpower, baby. That's manifesting a win, motherfuckers. That's why they're number 1, and they're going to stay at number 1 until they lose in the playoffs this year, which I don't think they will until the Super Bowl against my Green Bay Packers. Josh, what say you?
Packers are not making the Super Bowl, so you can give up on that hope. But our lists are kind of similar. At number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great win for them. This team is just quietly under the radar, playing it really well. I think I criticize the switch from Fields to Russ, but I see why they did it now, and I can admit that was a good move for the team. It does remind me of that Seattle team a little bit. Great defense. They run the ball, take deep shots. So I like the structure of the Steelers a lot. I think Tomlin's obviously proven himself as a really good coach. Number 4, I got the Baltimore Ravens. They're AFC North foes. Ravens offense, you've mentioned it, is just insane. If they get some semblance of defense, which is what they used to be known for, they'd move up this list really quickly. So they have the talent too. Like, there's some positions that I'm like, they should be playing well, but it's just not consistent, and it's not working right now. So they'll figure it out, I feel like, but I'll keep them at 4 for now. Number 3, they're not moving up in my list, unfortunately for you, Travis. The Kansas City Chiefs, I'm just going to keep them here, wherever they belong. Number 2, I got the team that'll beat them this weekend, Buffalo Bills. I love the offensive line, too. They have not gotten a lot of attention in Buffalo. But it's really opened things up for the run game. They kind of got like a 3-headed monster now. And plus Allen. And I just like how their defense is playing well. They're complementing each other offensively and defensively and special teams. So like the team a lot. Number 1, 5 picks, you still win. You get to stay at the number 1 spot. Ugly win. But give Detroit credit. That team rallies around Dan Campbell. I didn't ever feel like they were out of the game.
Around Jared Goff there.
Yeah. But, man, that team is loaded. So it's going to be a fun run. I agree. I think a lot of these teams play this weekend, so heck of a weekend we're set up for here.
Excited. Can't wait.
The teams that got buys for week 11, we got the Cardinals, Buccaneers, Panthers, and Giants. And these teams, I think, could use it. Cardinals are kind of on a roll, so I wouldn't necessarily say they need it, but to think to just
I should have said that. They were the best in the
Yeah.
league. Damn.
Yeah, they've been balling. Kyler's been balling. Since Call of Duty came out, the new one, he's been 3-0. He looks great. He
And
he
he's
broke it.
playing I really like how their offense is playing. Like just feed the beast, feed the beast, feed the Connor and Benson. They
Yep.
got some good running backs.
Yep.
DeMarcado, like they know what they're doing on. And then all of a sudden he'll pull it and scramble and score a
Yep.
touchdown.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and then Bucks, they got to buy much needed. Hopefully Mike Evans comes back next week for them. They desperately need just a reliable guy other than Kate Otten.
What a play by Baker. You guys see that?
Yeah, that was
Stiff arm
stiff arms.
Oh, yeah.
Bosa
Dude.
on
just
fourth down.
stiff arm, and then he's like, rah, and he chucks
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
fourth.
I don't know how you do that because, like,
Tom Brady was like drooling.
yeah, he's complimenting him. Yeah, dude. Bosa, I think it was Patrick on Monday had said that he's like, is that really just Bosa not knowing how to properly tackle Baker at that moment? Because you can't drop him, like it's. And I thought that was kind of part of it because I mean, like, dude, you can't bring down Baker for like 4 full seconds, like Nick Bosa.
Maybe he moved like, hey, I'm gonna stiff arm you. We're gonna make this really nice play, and then throw it. Yeah, it looked maybe like that.
Maybe we each get some more airtime and some extra jersey sales. I don't know.
It was great to see CMC back.
Watched much of that game. I think I just saw the some highlights of it, but Panthers surpriser doing something. They're not dead, I mean they are dead, but they're playing for just the heck of what playing, I guess.
A lot of teams that were in contention for the top 5 picks won this past week. Really,
Austin Eckler, 25 years in here.
Oh,
yeah. Eckler's a beast. Great pickup for them.
5 yards out red zone here.
Jaden Daniels is going to score. 7-yard run.
7-yard runs. Yep.
Hey. All right. Shall we move into a little pick'ems update? Shall we? Got our pick'ems update. As we move past week 10, I lead the pack here, 108 to Josh's 101 to Travis's mystery number.
I'm coming for it.
Yeah, you gained a spot on me. Travis, I don't know what he's got. He's 85 and I don't know.
He's got 27.
He's out, unfortunately. I just can't keep giving you freebies.
you can I think we're gonna have to change the segment for Travis. We're gonna have to just get a super dog or something for the week now for the last few weeks here.
Heck.
Get my spread
Your
picks.
lock of the week. Oh, the spread picks. Call it.
My lock of the week this week is a homer one, but it is a lock of the week.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
This Sunday we have the biggest rivalry in all of sports: the Chicago Bears the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. The longest storied history in NFL history. The Packers 107, 95, and 6 ties, okay? Since I've been alive, since 1992, we should say, since I was about 5, when I can recall my first Packer game. This rivalry is not a rivalry. The Packers have won 50 times to the Bears 15. So whenever I see these rivalry talks and all that, I'm like, yeah, sure, they've played for 100 years, but there ain't no rivalry here. I don't think of them as a rivalry. I think the Cowboys are more of a rivalry to me. I think the Vikings are more of a rivalry. And Matt LaFleur's 10-0 against them. Hasn't ever lost since taking over as head coach of the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, with that being said, this is my lock of the week. The Green Bay Packers are going to run in to Chicago and blow them out.
What's the spread?
30-16. Green Bay covers the -6 point spread.
That's all it is. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I think it was down to 5.5 when I looked last.
Place some money on that one.
So
damn. Yeah, Winch, who do you got for that game?
Packers.
Your prediction?
31-17.
31-17.
Yeah.
I am gonna do you one better. I'm gonna go 28-13 here. I think Bears don't do much. It's more field goals for them than anything. They're just kind of a hot mess, and Packers are gonna do what Packers do against the Bears. They're gonna beat them down to a pulp. They're gonna have little hope and not let them come up for air.
Packers coming off a bye as well. Haven't been the greatest off of the week after the bye with Matt LaFleur, so that's a little concerning. But now they've gotten a week to get rested up. They were kind of banged up. Jordan Love's probably going to be the healthiest you've seen him all season long, besides week 1 of the season. So that's another take on why you should take the Packers at -6 for anybody that's into that kind of stuff.
What's that?
I said, look at these stats we're getting from
Right. I
Travis.
love it. Well,
They just
right now we got the Commanders at the Eagles going on right now during this game. Yeah, we did record a couple days late, but I believe Commanders up 7-0 right now.
Yep, Brian Robinson touchdown.
Brian Robinson, and of course I didn't start him in fantasy. I benched him right at the end. I didn't know if he was going to be healthy or not. I don't know how much they were going to. It's been out.
Yeah, I picked the Eagles in this game, though. I still think they're just an overall better team. We've talked about before about that Washington defense not being, the greatest thing ever. So it kind of purely relies on their offense. But the Eagles defense is good enough to get this job done. I'm still going to give my prediction, even though the Eagles are down right now. I'm going to take the Eagles. Let's go 27-24 over Washington.
I placed a bet on the Washington Commanders right before this game at +4.5. So I'm hoping for that to hit. I'm not sure if I picked the Eagles or the Commanders in the pick.
Make your picks?
Probably not.
But I'm giving you my spread picks here. So Commanders +4.5 right now. We're up 11.5 points.
All right.
So
Here we go. I got the Eagles in a close one, too. I like their score a lot, Lee. I'm going to go 28-24. Be a good game.
I got to ask you something. You weren't on the fastest minute the other day in the morning, were you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I was going to work on Wednesday, and they play that fastest minute on the radio, where you have to get all 8 or 10 questions right in a minute. And I listened at the tail end, so I didn't get to catch his name or anything. But then at the end, he's like, "Go Canes!" And I'm like, "Is that Josh or what?"
Smart man. Smart man. I got a new best friend somewhere out there.
Oh yeah. We seem to have lost our host.
Like a dog stepping on my football cards.
Cash has got the cards.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Hopefully it's not a rookie card.
No, it's not, fortunately. I just thought it was a cool one.
That's okay.
Two additions up there, though. I got J.J. McCarthy, rookie. Got Dallas Turner. I got Justin Jefferson. And another J.J. McCarthy up there. Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
You got all Vikings.
Yeah. That's like $200 right there for the cards. Pretty nice. Pretty happy with it.
You think JJ will start next year?
Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say, Trey?
Do you think JJ McCarthy's going to start
Yeah,
next
I think he's
year?
definitely starting. I don't think Darnold's coming back.
Yeah, really.
They kind of made a who was it? Vikings Radio kind of made a prediction earlier, or not a prediction, but said that there was talk around where it was Darnold would have to do some pretty crazy shit to be brought back, and it was NFC title appearance or Super Bowl. That's the options. Otherwise, they're not bringing him back. Which I was like,
really?
I was like, goodbye me. I'm fine with that. So even if he balled out, it's just Flash.
McCarthy's going to be the best.
Yeah,
for all these guys.
I think. Yeah, I hope he's just. I don't know. I just want to be hopeful, and it's Darnold was a nice story and fun while it lasted, but I don't want to live with what we got now for the next 4 or 5 years. That's not
right.
That's not fun. I'd rather.
Yeah, the math.
Yeah, I'd rather fucking be miserable next year or whatever. And JJ had another knee surgery. Was it yesterday? Just to take care of some swelling stuff. So I was like, all right, but still hopeful. Still hopeful.
Bringing Joe Flacco for the year.
Yeah. Maybe a Flacco from the Browns. What else we got here? We got the Ravens versus the Steelers. I know we briefly talked about that one. Thing here. Game there. Yeah, I think this is going to be another really fun game of the week right here. We've talked about the offense of the Steelers picking up a little more steam with Russie.
In Pittsburgh?
Yes, in Pittsburgh. So I think this is a tough one. This is a tough one to choose, and I could definitely see myself getting it wrong no matter which way I pick, kind of thing. I think I'm going to give the edge to the Ravens, just because of I kind of think they're a three-headed monster there as well with Lamar and Derrick Henry. I didn't look at the rushing defense stats for the Steelers. I'm really curious how that looks, because maybe if you can slow down Derrick Henry, you can probably slow down the Ravens, I guess. So I'm curious what their numbers are for that. But
Do you have the spread?
I do not. Probably can. No. But yeah,
It's got to be a pretty tight
for
one.
now, I'll
Three.
take the Ravens 24-20 over the Steelers.
Steelers are the home team. I'm betting they're a home dog, and Tomlin always, always, always does well when he's a home dog. With that being said, my bet of the week as well on this game will be with the Steelers. I'll take the Steelers to win by 3 points, 24-20, 24-21.
I like it a lot. Steelers got to throw in a few field goals, so I'm going to go 19-17. Steelers win.
Wow, lower one.
I like that.
I hope that's not it. I mean, a defensive game like that, I'd be disappointed if we had the Ravens get quieted down that much. But we'll see, and I wouldn't be surprised either, because I think that is a good score. Next game we got. I'll probably skip the Vikings again, just because the Titans are dog shit.
I got the Vikings.
It's the easy option there. Is there another game on here worth the darn?
The Bills.
Yeah, I was
Bills.
gonna save that for last. Or I guess we could do Bengals Chargers after. Yeah, so let's do Chiefs Bills first. This one is in, what the hell is that stadium
Buffalo.
called? Is that Highmark? Is that what it is there, or is that somewhere else? Highmark Stadium. It's not.
What do you
not
mean?
New Era. Well, the Bills Stadium. What's that?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's
Whoever makes those white folding tables.
Lifetime.
Like
It should be Lifetime Stadium. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills here to give the Chiefs their first loss, even though I think in the back of my mind it ain't gonna happen that way, and I still think the Bills can't beat good teams, and the Chiefs are good enough to be that to have that label, even with luck in their pocket. I'm going to give the Bills the win here. I'm going to go probably a last-second field goal. I'm going to go 24-21. Bills take it down at the last second there.
This game, this matchup reminds me a lot of my childhood with the Packers playing the Dallas Cowboys every year, never, ever being able to beat them. But we never got them at home. And when we finally did, we beat them. And we didn't just beat them, we fucking crushed them. I know the Chiefs have already beat them in Buffalo and all that. However, I think after last week's high, they're big emotional victory. I think they're going to come down here, and I think the Bills got them at the right time here after that. And give me the home team, Buffalo Bills, to circle the wagons and get this job done here this week and give the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Give me the Bills 27, Chiefs 24.
I'm going to go with Buffalo as well. I will not pick the Chiefs. So I believe in Buffalo. I think they're always that team that wins the regular season matchup, loses the postseason matchup. I think we see that a lot in sports once you get these rivalries defined. Anyway, I think they're gonna win, actually pretty convincingly, 28-17, and then the Chiefs will beat them in the playoffs, probably by that same score.
Stephon Diggs on the sidelines with the hands on his hips. That won't be there.
Yep.
The next game we got here is the Sunday night football in beautiful Los Angeles, California. The LA Chargers host the Cincinnati Bengals here. I think the Bengals favorite in this game. I don't think they should if they are, because I just don't think they're good enough this year. I don't think this is the year. I think they're playing for middle of the pack draft pick at this point. I'll say like pick 17 or some shit, because they're just not that impressive. They're just like Jamar Chase, incredible. He's doing incredible things this year. Catching everything, just getting massive catches, massive yardage, touchdowns to boot. But the Chargers are a more impressive team, I think, this year. I guess just because more so expectations were low for so long, that bringing in Harbaugh, changing the culture there, changing their play style, coming in and really being competitive against good teams. I think the Chargers take care of this at home, even though it'll probably be Bengals fans in the stadium there. I'm going to take the Chargers. We're going to go lower scoring. I think we're going to go 20 to 17 over the Bengals.
It's really not hard to change the culture after whoever the fuck was there before. Mr. Brandon Staley. Yeah. Call it just don't be a dumb fuck, and you can change the culture a little bit. But with that being said, I'm going to go with the home team Chargers. I think they're physically just going to out physical the Bengals. And I think that game last week that they lost was, ouch. Sorry about it. You probably shouldn't have went for 2. I probably wouldn't have. See, there's differences. I would have went for 2 if I was who was it last week that didn't?
Chiefs.
What?
That Buccaneers Chiefs game was the one we were talking about.
The Buccaneers, I'd go for 2 because
You don't have your top receivers.
all back. I mean, I just, even if like it's Patrick Mahomes, I just don't. It's different with that team and that team too. Like I'm the Buccaneers, I don't probably have a chance, and then I have one play that could get me the chance, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go with Chargers, 26 to 23.
I'm also going to take the Chargers at home. I think they shut down Chase this week, double them up on every play. Take away their only threat they've really had. I mean, Bengals defense has been suspect, and I anticipate it's going to be like a time of possession style game for the Chargers, where they have the ball for like 40 minutes of the game. With that being said, I think they win 21-17.
Games for us.
We have breaking news. Breaking news. We have one more to choose from here this weekend.
Oh
boy. It's a special edition. Friday night, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Who wins?
Wants Mike Tyson to knock that motherfucker out. All right.
Is it on Netflix or
Yeah.
something? What's it on?
Netflix, yep.
Netflix? So what time does it start? Like midnight?
No, it's like 7, I think, ain't it?
I don't know. I just know it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's tomorrow.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
And I want to watch it.
Wow.
If it goes,
ran the worst special play I've ever seen.
8 rounds, 2-minute rounds, 8 rounds, and they're using 14-ounce gloves.
7.
I'm gonna go with Jake Paul. I want Tyson to win, but I think Paul's gonna win. I don't know much else other than that.
And the only reason I say he's gonna win is because dude's 58 years old.
Right.
I mean, he's 30 years younger. I mean, Mike Tyson's gonna be slower. He looks like a beast in those 20-second clips you see, but that's 20.
Yeah,
man. He's gonna get tuckered out.
Yeah, I just I want him to beat him. Oh, man, maybe he'll just knock him out right away. Who knows?
I told Taylor, I was like, if this thing goes to the 3rd round, I'm turning it off. I'm like, I don't want to watch the just 2 old, like, tuckered out guys. Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm done.
Shit.
He's got to knock him out early. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen. And
I think they're both going to come out swinging, which will make it fun.
They better, man. I just feel like all those really hyped up like fights like that, it's
Yeah.
usually just a defensive, like just stand there, like the
Well, the
Mayweather shit.
Mayweather,
It's like I just don't want to see that. I get that's the strategy, that's how you win, but it doesn't mean I like it. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't
defense.
want a game manager.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be fun. I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
it, but we'll see.
Something different, that's for
yeah,
sure.
that's true.
They've been hyping this one up for what, 2 years, I feel like.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen months and months and months ago, and then Tyson got like sick or something, and they
Yeah.
postponed it. That's a shame. Yeah, hopefully Tyson puts on a show, man. I just never got to see him fight in real life, so I'd like to, like it's always been
Yeah.
highlights from fights past. So it's like to see a live fight, not in person but live. Should be exciting. Still want to see that legacy. All right. Well, I suppose with that being said, we can wrap this up. Everyone can enjoy the rest of their Thursday night and Commies and
Uh,
Eagles.
we got one more thing, Josh. We need your thoughts on the Miami Hurricanes, Georgia Tech upset loss last week. What happened? Thoughts, concerns? Um, does this mean the end of the road for their playoff aspirations, or are they going to be in?
Good question. So, I wasn't, I guess, I wasn't surprised that they lost. Georgia Tech has kind of always had Miami's number since I can remember. They've upset them several times in the past. Um, and their style that they play is like the worst thing that Miami struggles with, which is outside zone running, and a lot of
Option?
motion, a lot of motion before the snap. Having said that, I was extremely disappointed in Miami's alignment and setting the edge. There's several plays, if you watch it, that they literally have like five guys on one side of the field and we have three. I'm like, how the fuck are we supposed to defend any play if that's the matchup we put on the field? So I was disappointed in their defensive coordinator, Lance Gidger, who has had a really rough season after last year having a really great season. That was the biggest disappointment. Having said that, they played their worst offense of the season too. They went 2 of 7 on third downs and 1 for 5 on fourth downs. They had left 9 points on the field if they would just kicked it.
Oh, we lost.
Trey's in here, sorry. Um, anyways, they left 9 points on the field. Okay, give me a second, buddy. Just a sec,
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
Taking care of daddy duty. Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to bring that up. But anyway, no, I mean Cam Ward had the ball with 1:47. They got the ball left. 2 timeouts, had to drive the field. He had a wide open guy on 1st and 10. He just missed him, which happens because it was like running. He ran around for a while, but anyway, second down, gets strip sacked. That's the end of the game. So, their magic kind of ran out of some of the comebacks they've had in other games, which I figured would happen. Good timing because now they're in a bye week this week and they have 2 games left. They control their own destiny, so they have to win at home versus Wake Forest and then on the road versus Syracuse. I like them to win both games. ACC championship, if they win that, they're in. We'll see what happens. I think they are who they are. I mean, we're 10 games into the season. Their defense isn't going to automatically get better. They still have the best offense in college football. So the strategy at this point is just put up 50 every game. That's how they're going to win. If they don't put up 40 or more, they're probably not going to win the game. Just on how their defenses look so far this year. Hopefully that changes. They make some personnel moves, but I still like their chances to get to the playoffs. I don't know what it looks like when they get in. So I hope they can win out and win their first ACC championship, get into the playoffs, and see where it goes from there. That's my aspirations at this point.
So what? Their hardest game now is going to be against Clemson in the championship game if they make it.
They won't play Clemson more than likely. It'll be SMU, which SMU is a damn good team. They're under the radar a lot. They only lost 1 game, and it was by 3 points versus Notre Dame. So Their offense is a lot like Miami's. They're actually, their head coach was Miami's old offensive coordinator. And they have like 8 players from Miami on that team. So it'd be a really interesting matchup if they do meet. By the way, the Eagles' offense is looking really bad in this
that's
game.
great.
Both teams aren't looking great right now.
Anyway, we're gonna finish strong. We're gonna make the AC championship. We're gonna make the playoffs. Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's going to be a great weekend of football, boys. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, folks, thanks again for listening. Like and subscribe, rate and review, share, as always, as we say. And that is the last I heard.
Peace.